Next, we're going to talk about rotations in the plane. So far, we've done translations and reflections, and our third transformation is going to be rotations. So what's a rotation? Rotation is a transformation that turns every point of a preimage through a specified angle and direction about a fixed point called a center of rotation. So let's make note of that center of rotation. That's the point that we're rotating around. Alright, our angle of rotation is the angle through which a preimage is rotated to form the image. So our angle of rotation is like 90 degrees or 45 degrees or however many degrees you're going to rotate. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is clockwise and counterclockwise. So I'm sure you guys have an idea of what this means. Clockwise means you're going like a clock, so you're going to the right. And counterclockwise, opposite, you're going to go to the left. So what's important to remember is that unless otherwise stated, you're going to always go counterclockwise. So unless it specifically says clockwise, you're just going to assume you're going to go counterclockwise. Okay? So let's look at an example. Alright, so here's our triangle ABC that we want to rotate 90 degrees about the origin. Alright, so take a second to graph this. A is at 1, 1, B is at 1, 5, and C is at 3, 1. So you might want to take a second to pause the video so you can graph it, because I'm going to exit out of here and go to GSP. Alright, so we'll pull up GSP. So here's triangle ABC. So let's see what happens when we go to rotate. So first I want to double click our middle, just like we did today in class, or Friday in class. Alright, so then I'm going to come up to, whoop, that moves the whole screen. Alright, I want to come to transform. I want to rotate. So 90 degrees is already in here. We're going to rotate. See how it automatically takes it counterclockwise. So if we just take a second, go ahead and pause if you need to and write down these new coordinates. Alright, keep in mind which ones stick with which. So this one would be A prime, this one would be B prime to the far left, and then C prime at the top. Alright, so now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. Alright. So, looking at our PowerPoint, we've got our A, B, and C. So you should have gotten A prime to be negative 1, 1, B prime to be negative 5, 1, and C prime to be negative 1, 3. So looking at these points, we can think of a rule. Let me get my pointer back. So 1 becomes negative 1, 1 stays positive 1. Alright, that one's kind of a hard one since it's just 1 and 1. So let's try B. B, 1 becomes negative 5, 5 becomes 1. So it looks like we have our x and y switch, and then our x or our y value becomes negative. So we have x, y. Alright, and instead of saying becomes or is, we're going to start saying this arrow as maps onto. Alright, so this is maps onto. So our xy maps onto negative y, x. Negative y, x. So this is our rule for rotating about the origin 90 degrees. Terrible 90 degrees. This is our rule. Alright? This is something you need to write down. Make sure you know this rule. So xy maps onto negative y, x. Alright, let's try another one. So let's rotate the quadrilateral LMNO with vertices L at 2, 6, M at 6, 2, N at 11, 2, and O at 13, 9. So I want you to pause here and try and do this problem on your own, or if you need help, you can follow and go through it with me. Okay? I'm going to exit here, go back to GSP, and somehow we go. So we'll go to my other window where I have quadrilateral LMNO. Alright. So we want to rotate this 90 degrees about the origin. So we could have looked at our points, and let's go to rotate. Oh, first we have to do our here, and we're going to select our shape, our quadrilateral LMNO. We're going to rotate, and again we're going to rotate 90 degrees, and you kind of see like the outline here, right? So we're going to rotate. Alright, so take a second to jot down these points, our new coordinates, see if you can match up which ones go where. If you kind of look at it and visualize how it rotates, which point would be what. And I'm going to click back to the PowerPoint. So we should have gotten that L maps onto L prime at negative 6, 2. M maps onto M prime at negative 2, 6. N maps onto N prime at negative 2, 11. And O maps onto O prime at negative 9, 13. Alright, so all we're going to do with this video is a 90-degree rule. So write that down, and we'll go into class Monday morning, and we'll figure out the rest of the rules, okay? I'll see you after the weekend.